My people, come closer. Sit down well. Whether you are washing plates, driving keke, lying down for night, or you are just passing time, let me tell you a story. Not the kind you hear and forget. This one entered the ground and came back alive. This is the story of a man who died twice but refused to stay dead. It happened in a town that looks like every other town you know. One main road full of potholes, small shops squeezing each other, shouting generators, churches and mosques almost sharing fence, and people who know everybody's business but still pretend they don't. A town where bad news spreads faster than Hamatan fire, and truth usually dies quietly. The burial was supposed to be quick. The sun was already angry, the kind of sun that makes black clothes feel like punishment. Men stood with their hands behind their backs, shifting from one leg to another. Women cried with loud voices, some crying because their heart was broken, some crying because crying was expected. Children chased each other until someone shouted at them. Inside the coffin was Musa Adamu. Or so everybody believed. Zainab, his wife, sat on the bare ground, wrapper pulled over her head, rocking back and forth. Her eyes were swollen, red, empty. 3 days earlier, she had washed his body with her own hands. She had touched his chest and felt no movement. She had kissed his forehead and it was cold. She had cried until tears refused to come again. Musa was dead. The imam finished his prayers. The gravedigger wiped sweat from his face. 2 men held the coffin ropes. "Lower ram," someone said. The coffin went down. Sand followed. The sound of earth hitting wood was dull, final, unforgiving. Then a sound came. At first, it was small, almost like imagination.
Osundi, Owendi. Somebody hissed. Who phone be that? Burial ground now. The sound stopped. Then it rang again. Osundi, Owendi. People looked around, annoyed now. Abeg, off your phone. A boy tugged his mother's wrapper. Mama, it dey come from inside ground. Before she could slap him for talking nonsense, the phone rang again. Louder, clearer. And this time everybody knew. That was Musa's ringtone. Zainab froze. Her heart did something strange, not fear, not hope, something painful in between. "No," she whispered. "No, no, no." The ringtone stopped. Silence fell like heavy cloth. Then something else came. A sound. Not music, a knock from underground. Slow, weak, desperate. Boom, boom. A voice followed. Rough, dry, broken. "Help me." Pandemonium exploded. Women screamed and ran. One fainted. Another started shouting, "Jesus, Jesus," even though she went mosque every Friday. Men staggered back. Someone shouted that it was juju. Another said it was end time. Phones came out immediately, fear mixed with curiosity. Zainab screamed Musa's name and crawled forward like a mad woman, her hands digging into the sand, nails breaking, skin tearing. Some men joined her, shouting at the gravedigger to brace shovel. The coffin lid was forced open. Inside was Musa, eyes open, chest rising, alive. The town did not sleep that night. By midnight, everybody had a version of the story. By morning, the story had grown teeth. Some said Musa died and resurrected. Some said he was never dead. Some said government people were involved. Some said he was a wizard that went to renew his power. But nobody asked the most important question. Why did Musa have to die in the first place? Musa Adamu was not a big man. That was his greatest crime. He worked as an accountant in the Ministry of Works, not a director, not a permanent secretary, just one of those quiet men that come early, leave late, and never make trouble. He greeted everybody, he minded his business, and that was why they used him.
because big men don't like to dirty their hands with signatures that smell. They pushed files to his table, contracts that did not make sense, figures that made his head spin, roads that cost 3 times what they should, projects that existed only on paper. Sign am, na order. If you no sign, another person go sign. At first, Musa argued. Then he was warned. Then he was threatened softly. You get wife, abi? You want your children grow without father? Make you no too holy pass pope. He signed. Every signature felt like stone on his chest. Then one evening, while cross-checking figures, he noticed something. Not mistake, pattern. Money was not just being stolen. It was being washed, moved, buried, resurrected, just like him. There was a ledger hidden inside another ledger, accounts inside accounts, names coded, transfers done at night, billions moving like spirits. And the names, my people, the names were heavy. Politicians you see on TV shouting corruption, businessmen that donate big offerings in church, security men that escort convoys. Musa stopped sleeping well. Fear became his shadow. He knew too much. So he started copying everything. Recordings, screenshots, files. He hid them in places only desperate men think of. He created dead man switches, emails scheduled to send if he didn't check in. He was careful, but not careful enough. They came for him on a Wednesday. Not with guns, with smiles. Malam Musa, Oga wants see you. They drove him around until night fell. Then they stopped somewhere quiet, a warehouse that smelled of oil and secrets. They showed him what they knew. They knew about the files. They knew about the backups. They knew about Zainab's daily routine. You think say you smart, one of them said calmly. You forget say now we build this system. They offered him a choice. Disappear quietly or disappear painfully. Musa chose a third option. He agreed to die. They drugged him, slowed his heartbeat. A doctor was paid. A report was written. A death certificate prepared. Everything was arranged. But greed rushed the process. The drug was not enough. The coffin was cheap. And God refused to sleep. When Musa walked underground, air almost finished, chest burning, darkness pressing on him. He thought he was already in hell. Then his phone rang. That ringtone saved his life. When he opened his eyes in the hospital later, handcuffed to the bed, he understood something clearly. If he stayed alive quietly, they would kill him properly. If he died loudly, the truth might survive. So when men in suits came to threaten him, he smiled. That same night, during a power outage, Musa disappeared again. This time, nobody found a body. Zainab suffered. Let nobody lie to you, she suffered. Police questioned her, strange men followed her, neighbors whispered, friends avoided her. Some people said she married a demon, some said she was part of it. She cried alone at night. Until one night, rain beating zinc roof like drum. She had a knock. 3 knocks, pause, 2 knocks. She opened the door. Musa stood there, alive. She slapped him so hard he tasted blood. Then she held him like someone that almost lost air. We no fit stay here. They go come. They don't already come, she replied. Good, Musa thought. Then time was short. They planned together. Musa leaked everything, not to one person, to many. Journalists woke up to emails that could not be ignored, audio recordings, documents, videos, names, proof. Nigeria shook. Arrests happened, some people denied, some ran, some tried to kill the story. But once truth enters internet, it does not die easily. Some powerful men fell. Some disappeared. Some still walk free. That is Nigeria for you. As for Musa and Zainab, they left quietly. New names, new town, simple life. One evening, Musa stood outside watching children play, listening to generator hum in the distance. He touched his chest where earth once pressed him. He smiled. He had died once to survive. He would never die for silence again. And somewhere in that town, there is still an empty grave, grass growing over it, quiet, innocent looking. But if you listen well, very well, you will hear the truth breathing underneath. My people, if this story touched you, shook you, or made you think, no keep 'em to yourself. Like 'em, subscribe, Share 'em, because stories like this, they survive only when people pass them on.